Remember when we were told that if you didn't post the fit, the brunch, or the sunset, it basically didn't happen? That existence was defined by how many people saw your highlight reel. Well, the vibe has officially shifted. The biggest flex of this decade isn't being seen, it's being ghosted. Specifically, ghosting your own ego and quietly pulling your life back from the public feed. We're moving into the era of the cozy web, a place where grid posts stay frozen in time while real life happens in smaller, more intentional rooms. Staying private isn't about becoming a hermit, it's about reclaiming your attention from a system that is literally engineered to exhaust you. Here's the reality. The old way of doing social media is failing us. We've hit a saturation point of frictionless design and algorithms engineered for outrage. Every swipe delivers more content, but somehow less satisfaction. For years, we've behaved less like participants and more like performers, managing our digital personas as if we're launching a product, constantly curating, constantly posting, constantly watching the metrics. Researchers now describe this environment as ambient chaos, a constant layer of digital noise and overstimulation that slowly blurs the line between what's meaningful and what's simply loud. Search trends for brain rot have increased by 900% year over year, and enshittification has quietly become the default experience across many of our favorite apps. The problem isn't that we lack attention, it's that we lack meaning. The public feed has become a high-pressure stage where everyone is permanently on, and honestly, we're exhausted. So if the old playbook is broken, how do we actually take our lives back? There are 3 simple, data-backed strategies that can help you ghost the noise and rediscover a more intentional digital rhythm. First, perform a radical digital declutter. If we want control back, we have to rebuild our relationship with technology almost from scratch. One powerful approach is a 30-day optional technology fast. This isn't just a break from screens, it's an opportunity to rediscover high-quality leisure, things you can touch, build, create, or experience in person. If a full 30 days feels unrealistic, start with something smaller. Delete social media apps from your phone entirely. The smartphone versions of these platforms are specifically designed to hijack your attention. The desktop versions are far less addictive. By forcing yourself to access them through a browser, you introduce what behavioral scientists call intentional friction. And right now, that friction is exactly what our brains need. Second, optimize your environment for focus, not distraction. Your phone is designed to capture attention, but with a few simple design tweaks, you can flip the advantage back in your favor. One surprisingly effective change is switching your phone display to grayscale. Without color, the screen becomes less stimulating and naturally less addictive. If the world on your phone looks boring, you'll look at it far less often. Another technique is replacing vague intentions with clear if-then plans. Instead of saying, "I'll try to use my phone less," create specific triggers. For example, when I sit down to work, I will place my phone in a drawer. Or, if I feel the urge to scroll, I will take 3 deep breaths first. These simple implementation plans dramatically increase follow-through, far more than relying on willpower alone. Third, migrate toward the cozy web. Instead of broadcasting, start prioritizing belonging. Influence is quietly shifting away from massive public stages and into smaller digital campfires, private Discord servers, group chats, niche newsletters, spaces where people actually talk instead of perform. Today, about 54% of Gen Z say they prefer private messages over public comments, because that's where real connection happens. Instead of following 1,000 strangers, curate a small circle of 10 or 20 people who genuinely matter. The shift is simple but powerful. We're moving from reach to resonance. And ultimately, this change goes beyond productivity. It represents a deeper shift in how we think about a meaningful life.
When we cut through the digital noise, we move closer to what philosophers call eudaimonic well-being. In simple terms, human flourishing, living with purpose rather than constant stimulation. When we stop chasing likes and vanity metrics, we regain something incredibly valuable: solitude, the quiet mental space needed to regulate our emotions and think clearly about difficult problems. Digital minimalism doesn't mean abandoning technology. It simply means accepting that missing out on small things is a fair trade if it protects the big things that make life meaningful. Research shows that people who adopt these minimalist habits experience a 23% reduction in anxiety and a significant improvement in sleep quality. Because the truth is simple: human beings were never designed to be constantly wired. Choosing privacy, choosing intention, isn't a retreat, it's self-preservation in a world that profits from selling your attention to the highest bidder. And if you're looking for more practical ideas on navigating adulthood without losing your mind to the algorithm, consider subscribing. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to figure out how to live a little more human in an increasingly synthetic world. Stay intentional, and we'll catch you in the next one.